The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
There was another Jets OTA practice, and it was open for the media to observe. What were the biggest takeaways? We will ask a Jets reporter who was there. Nick Faria joins us. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby.
I got just the guy to get us going tonight.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Brees Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go. Here on a Thursday, show number 2 on the day. Appreciate all of you tuning in. Before we recap today's OTA practice open for the media to watch, quick update for those who plan to head to Tampa for the ASMANIAC meetup down in Tampa for Jets Bucks in week 3. We have secured limited group buy tickets if you want to sit with Jet fans at a discounted rate. First come, first serve. Join the Patreon. You'll see the info. Lock in your tickets as quickly as possible. I was not anticipating having any avenue for a group buy, but thank you to the Jet Fan Club down in Tampa. Working with them, we got some tickets available. So patreon.com/Jake Asman Show if you want in on the group buy. And if you don't, that's okay. We'll have info as well on a discounted hotel room. I also already have a locked and loaded Saturday from 4:30 to 8:30, or however long you want to stay at the bar, a happy hour party, Jet fan meetup the night before the game, and a game day tailgate as well. First come, first serve for Patreon folks as always, and then what's ever left is open for the general public. But patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. If you sign up for the year on Patreon, you get 10 raffle entries in our upcoming daily raffle. That's right. And our weekly raffle. At the end of the show, I'm giving away a signed CJ Mosley jersey. So to be entered for the Mosley jersey on this show, gift away, and then you're automatically entered for your chance to win a signed Walt Clyde Frazier jersey, a signed Joe Namath jersey, and oh yeah, 2 chances at winning a CJ Mosley jersey. I got not 1 but 2. I'll be giving away over the next few days. With that said, let's say hello to a man who was at practice today. He's currently driving back from One Jets Drive in Florham Park, New Jersey. Jets reporter Nick Faria joins the show. Hello, Nick. How was practice?
It was very good. Excited to be back on the show. Apologies are right under the G, so if the connection is shoddy, that is exactly why. Give it a couple minutes, we'll be good to go.
All right. Well, let's kind of just start with some big picture takeaways. What stood out? What were you looking to see? What did you actually see? For those who weren't there, which is probably 99.9% of the audience tuned in, what stood out from today's OTA session?
Well, I think you have to start with Justin Fields, starting quarterback. I thought it was another solid day overall for QB1. He was not perfect by any stretch. I think he holds on to the ball way too long. You can see some of the problems that he had in terms of processing, rearing its head a little bit. I do want to make sure, though, that fans understand that he is learning a brand new offense. When we spoke to him later at the end of the day of practice after availability, he did mention that this offense was pretty much new.
Oh, no.
Before, so he's learning the whole cadence, learning the system in general.
Hopefully Fields played better than Nick's internet connection. We'll check back in with Nick when he gets across the George Washington Bridge. I think that's what he said he was doing. In the meantime, a little public service announcement here. I'm taking off tomorrow, so I will return on Sunday with the show, taking a couple days off here, but we're not leaving you empty-handed. Tomorrow morning, Nick Shine will guest host the Jake Asman Show at 11 a.m. Eastern. And tomorrow afternoon, Connor Long, the prodigy, the ninth grader himself. He almost skipped school to do it. We said, it's okay, Connor. Go to school, do the second show. He will host the afternoon show tomorrow. So show some love for both Nick and Connor. They will be filling in for me tomorrow on the show. So not leaving you guys empty-handed with content coming your way on the channel. We will get back to Nick in a moment. With that said, we already got a tremendous amount of raffle entries. If you want to win a CJ Mosley jersey, gift away for your chance to win, let's shout out, and I hate to do this, but what's fair is fair. 6 rings. He operates under the name Patriots 12. He actually paid it forward. The man gifted 5 channel memberships. We can't hate him for that. We got to respect him for that, even though I will still play this. I said, even though I will still play this.
You get the fuck out.
So he is in for 5. Do appreciate the gesture. 6 rings. That is not a bad way to try and win yourself over with a bunch of Jet fans who hate your guts. Nate is in the raffle for 1, and a holy crap from Mimosa, a 20 spot, 20 channel memberships. That means he is in the daily raffle for 20 and our mega raffle on Monday for 20 memberships. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mimosa.
Thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
I have a helmet I have to put on in honor of Mimosa gifting 20 channel memberships. So bear with me, folks. I got to strap in and read some names, and this is also convenient because, unfortunately, Nick hasn't reconnected yet. So some tech issues here. We'll get back to Nick Faria in a moment with more takeaways from training camp. By the way, Real Beats, LD Caesar, Wavy Jets Guy, Craig M, and the P-Word Assassin all received the memberships from Patriots 12. Here are the 20 from the great Mimosa. Beast, you won't like this. Bobby Beasley getting a membership. J-Dubs, Nick Campo, Jared B, Cisco Lopez, M30, Joe Giulinio, Juice De Niro, Jets Runny, Dave New Brunswick, Idaho Jets, Taps Annie Button, Ricky Fisher, Mach 1, Matt Burns, All Sports Carlos, Gary the Snail, GOA, Ryan Moss, Gregory Davis, and finally, a 1 spot was gifted by the Mother Effin' Chew. That membership went to the following listener, and that is listener, dun, dun, dun. I would love to tell you, but it's not popping up. Tolacam Films. So thank you to Mimosa for the incredible generosity, and of course, Chew, Nate, and even Patriots 12 getting in on the raffle. All right. I believe Nick is back with us. Hopefully the connection holds post riding over that GW bridge. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Faria. Nick, how are you?
How's everything going? All right. Everyone can hear me?
We hear you.
You can all hear me?
Okay.
Perfect.
I think
Great.
we lost
Fantastic.
you. You were talking about Justin Fields. You thought he had an up and down day. It sounds like you were saying you were talking about his processing when we lost you.
Yes, so the processing is still coming a little slow, but it is to be expected simply because he's a quarterback that is learning a new offense. That's going to come. That's going to happen. He's going to get a lot faster with that once he gets those actual reps within the offensive group with pads. I did think he had 2 of the best plays of the day, though. There was one particular play where he was under pressure, and he threw it to the far side of the field. One would think that he was trying to throw it out of bounds, but he was actually in perfect spot for Garrett Wilson to make a sideline grab. Really, really pretty throw. Really good athleticism. The very next play, the Jets' defense was sending a 0 blitz. Stood in the pocket, stepped up, made the throw over the middle field. That would have gone for a 20-yard completion. Would have been a big offensive play. So, listen, not everything for Justin Fields has been solid. Not everything has been great. But there are some moments within these practices that you look and see the reason why this team wanted him as a starting quarterback.
I think with Fields, it's going to be so fascinating just to see, how willing are they actually going to let him throw, right? Like, I know Engstrand spoke today, and I was watching some of his presser, and I'll have some more thoughts on that over the next couple of shows here. But just listening to Engstrand talk and be like, look, Fields can do a lot of different things. And they basically tried to, goad him into an answer. Hey, you had a true drop back quarterback last year, how difficult is it now going to be with Fields? And Engstrand had the best answer I thought he could have had for that. He basically said, it just allows us to be able to do more. Like, who wouldn't want a quarterback as athletic as Justin Fields. So that's the right answer. Your thoughts on what you've seen on just how they could basically tap into what Fields already does at a very high level, maybe the best other than Lamar in the league at being a running quarterback, and then also try and build him up to be this passer that they've said on the record they think he could be.
I don't think he's going to throw more than 25 passes a game. I just don't see it based on how the Jets have built their offense. It's Garrett Wilson out wide, a couple of really good tight ends, and a lot of running backs. Focus on running the football. And, you make a great point. Engstrand could not run the zone read when he was the passing game coordinator for the Detroit Lions. He adds a whole new wrinkle, Justin Fields does, to what you could potentially do from an offensive perspective. In that way, the Jets should be very excited to see the potential that he can bring. Now, there are legitimate concerns. There are legitimate things that Justin Fields has to prove that he can do at a high level. Throwing the football in the fourth quarter is at the top of the list. Historically, one of the worst quarterbacks in completion percentage in the fourth quarter. We're not going to see that fixed in training camp or OTAs. We can only see that when the games actually matter. But at the very least, there should be some positivity that this Jets offense should be a lot better to watch, at least more fun to watch than it was last season, where they struggled to pick up first downs. They never really got into a rhythm. Now they're going to be running the football consistently and most likely effectively.
It's going to be fascinating to see how they kind of blend all that. As far as other takeaways go, Nick, what else stood out? It could be something you noticed, could be a player. You were there. Break down what you saw that we need to know.
Yeah, so two players really stood out to me today. First is Joe Tippmann. John Simpson made the point that he was in competition with Josh Myers last week. I think it's pretty surprising that a player that Pro Football Focus has as the ninth center in the league in just his sophomore year would have to undergo a competition for a starting spot. But alas, that seems to be where we are. But I thought Tippmann had a really good day today. You saw the athleticism, the physicality was there. People forget he's a 6'6" center. He's not this sort of short stack of pancakes like Jason Kelce was. So the idea is the athleticism won't be there like Kelce. But I see someone who is 6'6", a mauler, and athletic. He is the perfect package that you want in a center position. I think he's going to have a big year. The other one, of course, is Arian Smith. I mean, this guy gets open all the time. It is insane, this speed that he brings to the table. So the way that I look at it for the Jets, the pads need to come on for Arian Smith before we make the distinction of him being the number 2 threat. But the potential is certainly there for him to be the number 2 and number 2 very early in the season. He got open every time he ran around.
Did he? Did he, Nick? Did he really? Now, this is a tough screen grab for Nick right now. I won't lie. Nick's a friend. He's a good man. This is a tough freeze cam right now, folks. Real tough. Let me say this as Nick tries to reconnect here. This is the challenges of trying to do a live reaction show immediately after practice, but we will continue to grind through it. I don't for a second think that Arian Smith is going to be the Jets' number 2 wide receiver this year. I'm glad Nick's high on him. And now I'm not there, right? Obviously, I will withhold judgment until I actually watch the guy play. But I would be shocked if a 4th-round pick who had drop issues in college and some thought would fall to the 7th round would be the Jets' number 2 wide receiver this year. I would be shocked. Let's see what happens when the pads go on. And also, who's he doing it against? Is he doing it against guys that are actually going to be on the Jets this year or what? Like, is he getting open against Sauce Gardner? I probably doubt that one. Right? So I have some doubts. Let's see what happens when the pads come on. Could he have a role in the team? I mean, if he's contributing on offense, that's a win as a rookie 4th-round pick in year 1. But it's interesting how high Nick is on Arian Smith. He's been really impressed by him. And look, he's watching it, not us. But I just have some doubts. I have some doubts. Now, I don't have Nick with us back just yet, but because I am a professional, I did pull up Nick's Twitter and bookmarked a couple of his practice tweets that I could read to you guys, and then when he comes back on, we could follow up. He was very high on Joe Tippmann today. And we know that the Jets are trying to do this, center competition that I don't think anyone actually thinks is a center competition. This is Joe Tippmann's job. All right. If Joe Tippmann is not the Jets starting center, it's because he got moved to guard because one of the starting guards got hurt. That's it. Or Joe Tippmann himself is hurt. So we're going to see Joe Tippmann as the starting center, and he had a good day today for what it's worth. They're also not wearing full pads, so it's very tough to do O-line evaluation and even D-line evaluation. Usually the D-line wins this time of year. It's just easier for them to dominate when there's no pads. They can just rely on their speed and just it's tough. So we'll see. Yeah, there's some good photos going around of Will McDonald going up against Armand Membu. Like that's the experience that Membu's going to get by just going up against different guys on this Jets D-line. Eventually when Jermaine practices. So we will certainly see. A couple super chats while we wait for Nick to hopefully have better cell reception so we could finish the recap with him. Daniel is in our raffle for 2. Let's see if I can win the raffle. Jet up. I have right here, folks, a signed CJ Mosley jersey, all right? I'm giving it away after the show ends. Someone's getting it during this show. It includes a certificate of authenticity, and it includes a gorgeous signature by one of the more underrated Jets, the great CJ Mosley, who unfortunately never got to experience any modicum of winning when he was here as a Jet. But someone can win this jersey. It will be mailed to you with additional ASMANIACS swag. And if you won any of our prizes recently, congrats. They were all mailed out earlier today. We will get back to Nick in just a moment as he's about to reconnect. Kyle Clifton with a super chat. He's in our raffle at the end of the show for 2. And our big raffle, I'm not convinced on Arian Smith either. I agree, but I will follow up with Nick right now, who hopefully is back with us. Nick, we're not buying Arian Smith being the Jets' number 2 wide receiver this year. Tell us why we're idiots.
Well, again, it's too early to tell. My point is you need to see the pads come on before we make that distinction. But early on, you see the potential right away. He's a much better route runner than I think we gave him credit for out of Georgia. The speed is legitimate. It is Deshaun Jackson level speed, and he's catching the football. I mean, the one knock on him throughout his tenure at Georgia was the fact that he couldn't stay healthy and he couldn't catch the football. So far, he's looked really solid. He's been consistent catching the football. I think in total of the practices he's had in the last month, I've only seen him record 2 drops. So that's an improvement, but he's caught everything his way. He's run, like I mentioned, some really solid routes. He gets out of his cuts really well, and he's got this blazing speed that is very hard to replicate. So, again, is he going to be the number 2 wide receiver week 1? Too early to tell. We need to see what he looks like in pads. But right now, right from the get-go, it looks like the Jets have a guy that they could rely on and really develop into a really, really good offensive player.
Who's he getting open against, though? He's not beating Sauce Gardner in the ones.
He's beating A.Z. Thomas, who is considered one of the better press corners coming out of college, which I think is a big distinction because Thomas, yes, the pads aren't on, but you can still play physical football, and he just, today in particular, ran by A.Z. Thomas. He also had a couple of big-time reps last week against Brandon Stevens. So he may not be doing this against Sauce Gardner yet, but he has gone up against what we expect to be the number 2 and number 3 corners on the Jets this season, and he has more than held his own.
It's positive. That's certainly positive news, no doubt about it. I want to ask you about Joe Tippmann because I know you mentioned him as a standout today. We'll talk about that in a second. But some news. I was informed before the show started. It's Dave Briga's birthday today. So happy birthday to the great one-punch Dave Briga. Dave, don't you think that we weren't going to shout you out on the show? I had no idea it was your birthday. But happy birthday to Dave. And I'll tell you what, if you gift Dave a membership, because for some reason Briga doesn't have a membership, I'm convinced he might not have the setting turned on at this point. But assuming he does, and you're the listener who gifts him his channel membership during the show, I will send you an item from the Jake Asman merch store and hook you up for your service. So keep that in mind if you want in on the raffle or you just want to pay it forward and try and support the channel. You brought up Joe Tippmann in one of your tweets. You wrote a story on him earlier. Give me your thoughts on what you saw from Tippmann, because I am not buying for a second this legit center competition going on. I think it's going to be Tippmann's job. And by the time we get to training camp, there's not even going to be any competition.
That is kind of my expectation as well. I think people are going to have to prove themselves overall. I don't think Aaron Glenn wants to see the kind of yips that happened last year. If you guys remember, for about a 2-week window, Tippmann couldn't snap the football. And no one really understood why. There's really no rhyme or reason why it was happening. He just couldn't snap the football. I don't think the Jets want to see that happen in this training camp. They have a veteran backup ready to go if he's not up to the task in that regard in terms of that. But, you know, I mentioned this before. You don't see centers that are 6'6" move like he does. And I think part of the reason why I'm very high on him and high on this offensive line in general is because all of them have a sense of athleticism and physicality that is not exactly prominent across the NFL. I was talking about this today to Antoine Staley with Robbie Sabo. You know, the NFL now.
Sabo showed up. He wasn't sleeping?
No, he was not.
Okay.
No, he was not. But, you know, the one conversation that I had, and I made it very clear, and they kind of agreed, was the modern NFL has changed in a way where linebackers are no longer the big physical guys. They are small but athletic. That's a clear, distinct difference than what we have seen in NFL history. But when that happens, if you have a bigger and stronger offensive line that has that athleticism, you can neutralize some of the better defenses in the NFL. There's a lot of teams that are going back to the power running game as a focal point for their offense, and they've been highly successful for it. So I see Tippmann as part of that change, part of that adaptation from NFL teams that want to get bigger again offensively along the offensive line and manhandling some of these undersized linemen and linebackers.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. If you have a specific question for Nick about something from OTAs, then please write it in and we will bring it up on the screen. If it fits the conversation, super chats will cut the line. Mike Dems wrote in that Arian Smith will still have more drops than Nick's internet.
It's a rough day today, guys. Some days the internet just doesn't work for you. It's like it's essentially Ricky's struggles. He's passed it on to me.
Yeah, Ricky figured it out though, so maybe both you and Arian Smith can figure out your drops.
Got to figure it out, man. We got to get better.
Dave Briga wrote in, like Nick's review on Smith, we can only hope he's the guy.
And again, you know, this is what I see early on throughout his early start. A lot of people were against the draft selection because of his drops, because of his injury history. What I have seen through, 4 practices, is a player who has done work on catching the football, has speed that is very, very difficult to replicate at the NFL level, and looks like a mid-round receiver. I think the Jets have come away through these last couple of weeks of practice saying we're very fortunate that we were able to get Arian Smith in the 4th round and didn't really reach for this guy. There's a path here for him to make an immediate impact right away on the Jets roster. Maybe not as a number 2 wideout, but as a guy who gets 5 to 10 touches a game on jet sweeps, on screens, any way possible. The interesting piece also is when we talked to Chris Banjo today, the special teams coordinator, he did say that Arian Smith is going to be trying out for punter this year, which means they are looking for even further options, further chances to get him the football. I think he's going to make an immediate impact right away.
You brought up Banjo. I know you were at that press conference. First off, he looks like he still could play. Like, he literally looks like a player up there, not a guy who's now a special teams coordinator. Yeah. That's how fast he's ascended into that role. But what did you learn from Banjo in regards to punter, kicker, kick returner, all the specialist stuff that comes with special teams?
Yeah, it's kind of generic, but ultimately it's a competition right now, and we are very, very early in this competition. Anders Carlson probably didn't have the best day today. I would probably go with the other kicker having a better day overall. You sit and wait and see what happens at punt returner. He mentioned Xavier Gibson as a guy that's going to get an opportunity. Arian Smith, like I already mentioned. There are a lot of guys that he can play with on special teams at this point to be successful. So with Banjo, I also found it interesting in terms of how he was teaching players, because he was a very good special teams player in his NFL career, and he has actually played clips of his own career to show the teach tape of what to do and what not to do in certain situations. You rarely get that from a player turned head turned coach, but you're seeing that now with Banjo, and it'll be interesting to see if that works going into camp.
As far as the kicker competition, you brought up that in your answer there. I mean, do you get a sense they're going to value like kicks in practice or kicks in these preseason games? Like how is this competition going to be decided?
I would not be surprised if it starts with these two kickers. And if they both struggle in the first preseason game, then they bring someone in completely different. This is going to be a very touch and go process. One person wins one day, the next person wins the other day. Probably not the best bet for either if neither can find some consistency. So the name of the game right now, like I said, is that consistent form. Can these kickers make field goals at a good rate? Right now, both kickers have had some off days. Some have had good days. It's a wait-and-see game until the pads come on. But as of right now, I don't think there's anyone in the lead. And if there's no one in the lead, that probably means the Jets 2025 kicker is not currently on the roster.
The two kickers, for those who don't remember, right now, to Anders Carlson, who was with the Jets at the end of last year, and then Caden Davis, who they added as a UDFA. And he's got a huge leg. So, to me, in an ideal world, Davis wins that job if he could prove he could be a consistent kicker this summer.
He was really good today. He did not miss a kick. The difference from last week when he did miss a couple of kicks. So, again, wait and see when the pads come on, when all this process continues. But I think right now it's pretty split. I thought Carlson won the first day, and I think this new kid, this undrafted rookie, certainly won today.
All right, couple super chats here. Alien Goo checks in. That's a new name I don't recognize. I'll believe Beast is well cleansed in the arse area. You get it? Arse. That's how the British say it. Before I'll believe Arian Smith will be wide receiver 2 this year. So another Arian Smith doubter there. John has gifted a channel membership. John, you are in the raffle for 1. And for those tuning in late, at the end of this show, I'm giving away a signed, authenticated CJ Mosley jersey. So you got a chance to win a signed jersey at the end of the show, and you're entered in our weekly raffle, which will be on Monday. Big fella in the raffle for 2 with a $10 super chat says, entries for the great founder of Brig Estate. Happy birthday to my friend Dave Brigga. Happy birthday again to Dave. Ace of Spade wants to know, Nick, is Braylon Allen in good standing? Is he valued? Your thoughts on him and the other running backs as well?
He is absolutely valued. It seems that the running back by committee approach continues for the Jets. No one, in my opinion, has really gotten the bulk of the carries. We'll see how that progresses going forward, but he's going to be a key point. He was a pretty good receiver out of Wisconsin, really good pass blocker. I look at him as a mauler, that Brandon Jacobs type when the New York Giants had their 3-headed monster in the backfield in the late 2000s. I think Braylon Allen certainly on that path as well. He will get a lot of touches. He will have his fair share of moments for the Jets this season.
Purple Belt Mike checks in with a $5 super chat. Justin Fields said he could be great this year. I hope he's good, but I have my doubts. Let's go Knicks and Jets, and shout out to Beast, #1 spot in May. I'll tell you what, the committee's going to have a tough time figuring out who the top 10 is for our monthly rankings, which are coming back in just a few short days. Boomtown is hard at work finalizing it. So you're right, Mike. Beast certainly has a claim to #1 after what he did on the show yesterday. For those who missed it, go back and watch. And as far as Justin Fields, you sat in on that presser. What did you make of what Justin Fields said to you guys today?
Quiet kid, very quiet kid, reserved. He's already working on finding ways to work with his new teammates, to get involved on and off the field, which is obviously very important. It sounds like that this offense, and I kind of mentioned it before during my connection issues, and it looks like I may be going through a new one as I'm going on the Frog's Neck. But
here we go.
I'll try to get as much as possible get in there. Listen, it's a new offense. Justin Fields, very confident in his abilities, very confident in his relationship with Garrett Wilson. It seems like the Jets have a quarterback who is not interested in being in the limelight. Big difference from the previous 2 years or the last few years in general. So I look at the way Justin Fields is conducting himself as a quarterback. He is conducting himself as a franchise quarterback, the kind of quarterback you want to root for. And everyone that I talk to says the same thing. He's a great kid, hard worker, always wants to be better than he is in the current moment. All that is well and good. You still have to find a way to throw the football. He's a great kid, a great athlete. You got to figure out a way to be successful in the fourth quarter. Like I mentioned, he's been one of the worst in the NFL during that span. So A lot of questions for him still to answer. He's not going to be able to answer all of it until the games actually start. But I come away impressed with this reserved approach that he has this OTA session.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Jets reporter Nick Faria, who was one of a few reporters allowed to watch a Jets OTA, is on the show with us. And little news that I want to give credit to a listener of ours, Nate Parentheses Nate, who's a Jets season ticket holder. He informed me before the show that the Jets are not offering any availability for fans to watch any OTA or minicamp practice, which is a change from what they previously allowed. So Aaron Glenn and company running a much tighter ship. They are not allowing fans to watch anything, unlike previous years where they would love to have the fans to watch practice and watch Rodgers and company. So a little bit different right off the bat with how they're approaching the offseason program under Saleh versus now Aaron Glenn. What are your thoughts on that, Nick?
Yes, really.
Good take.
They usually want to be tight-lipped. And I do believe that that's eventually going to happen. I'm sure it will open up again eventually, but early on, with the way things are going, with the way they are trying to build this culture, does not surprise me. And quite frankly, I don't disagree with it. There's a lot of examples of not just focusing on the work can do wonders for an organization. Now, as I say that, the Jets are going to need to win. You're essentially cut season team that they want to pay and watch. If you're able to win, it's absolutely worth it. But if not, it's going to be a very quick pitchfork and torches kind of moment for Jets fan base.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. If you have a question for Nick, write it in, and we will bring it up on the screen. Once again, raffle at the end of the show, giving you a chance to win a signed CJ Mosley jersey. You know, when Fields was talking, I thought one of the interesting things he said is when one of the reporters asked him about Aaron Glenn and what he's been like so far. And Fields gave a great answer about how he's one of the most real coaches he's ever had. He brought up how yesterday, apparently, Aaron Glenn did not like the energy the Jets practiced with at all, and he called the team out. And Fields just thought that was, just real cool to see just how transparent and how out in the open Glenn was about that. That stuck out to me. What did you think of that answer from Fields earlier and what that says about Glenn?
There were a lot of detractors when Aaron Glenn was first hired because they felt they saw a lot of Robert Saleh in him. The fact that he has never been a head coach, the fact that he was a defensive play caller, didn't really have a lot of experience on the offensive end, the fact that he hired an inexperienced offensive play caller to run his offense. There were a lot of similarities for people that were concerned about the Aaron Glenn hiring. I don't think there should be much concern, or at least fair comparisons, to Robert Saleh and his failings over the last few years. Aaron Glenn is a completely different coach, and it's the fact that he's a former player that you see it right away. The fact that he was able to essentially call out his team at practice knowing that he didn't like the energy, the fact that he is so in tune with the locker room. Listen, it takes time for a locker room to buy into a new coaching staff. The fact that he has had such buy-in from his current team, very, very impressive early on. I continue to be impressed with the way the Jets coaching staff runs these practice. I mean, Robbie Sabo and I both agree. It's very intentional. They're very attention to detail. We don't know if that means they're going to win, 10 games at the start of the season. We still have to wait and see on that, how they develop new talent. But at the very least, you are seeing a structure here under this coaching staff that people have not seen over the last few years. So with Justin Fields talking about it, he is not the only player that has gone all in on the Aaron Glenn era. It's almost everyone on this roster, and I think it's a very poignant and very positive update for the Jets and Aaron Glenn to begin with.
How'd Armand Membu look playing right tackle with the ones?
Quiet day. And I will say that's exactly what you want to hear. If I don't have much to say about Armand Membu, he's doing a good job. Kind of similar a little bit to what Olu Fashanu, which way you want to call it, how he operated in OTAs. Fashanu had a very quiet OTA and training camp, and it really showed that, listen, he can be a really good player. And same thing for Armand Membu. I thought he had a couple really good blocks in the running game. I thought he was good in pass protection. Really just a quiet overall day, and that's the best you could say about an offensive tackle.
I mean, you look at the offensive line, Nick. There's no reason why this can't be one of the 5 best units in the league. Obviously, Membu's going to have to come in and be at the bare minimum average to above average. But if everyone plays to their talent level, and there's some continuity now with 4 guys that played together last year, like this team needs to be a dominant offensive line group if they're going to be better than people think. And that's obviously going to help Fields in the running game and everything that comes with that.
You are looking at the Jets offensive line, and you look at their 5, I would say, projected starters. Fashanu, Simpson, Tippmann, AVT, and Membu. AVT is a top 5 tackle in the sport. And I'll argue with the wall if I need to, because he's so good when he's healthy. I think Joe Tippmann can be a top 5 center in this league. He's very, very rare. This body type is kind of rare for the NFL level at this point. I think Fashanu, really good tackle, Pro Bowl caliber tackle. The weak link, and I want to put quotes around weak link, is probably John Simpson, but Simpson was fantastic last year. So if the Jets get even close to that level from Simpson again in year 2, you are looking, I completely agree, as a top 5 group in the National Football League. They're bigger, they're meaner, they're more physical. And listen, the NFL nowadays, everyone wants the quarterback that can throw 35 times a game, that can compete with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. But we have seen in recent years that doesn't always win. That doesn't always equal success in the long run. What equals success is running the football for 5-6 yards a carry and keeping that opposing offense off the field. If this Jets offensive line is able to run block as well as I have seen in OTAs and as well as they should, you are looking at a team that is going to win more games than you anticipate, because you'll be able to control the ball, control the time of possession, and keep some of these elite offenses off the field.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Hey, happy birthday to Jason Picker. That's Jason in Jerusalem. He is celebrating a birthday today as well. So we got not one, but 2 tremendous Asmaniacs who share the same birthday. One Punch Brigga and Jason in Jerusalem. So happy birthday to Jason as well. Great comment here from Beastbreaker. He says, Allen is a big fraud. No taste, no brains, no heart, no guts. Just a complete waste of space and a total fraud. Ladies and gentlemen, a salient point made by the Beast. Well said. Gator's got a great question as well. He wants to know, he just tuned into the show. He says, does Nick still have an Eagles-Jets Super Bowl?
No. Well, the Eagles will not be repeating this year. You can take that to the bank. They're not going to be repeating. The Jets, I don't think, are going to make the Super Bowl. Sorry, guys. I think if they can get over 500, it's a miracle, and you throw a parade. I think that would be a fantastic turnaround from last season. My 2 early predictions on the Super Bowl this year is Buffalo and Dallas. So anything happens in training camp, I reserve to change my mind. But early on, Buffalo and Dallas is my Super Bowl pick.
The Dallas Cowboys with Brian Schottenheimer are going to go to the Super Bowl?
Yep. And it's totally not because I'm trying to jinx them at every point. That's definitely not what's happening here.
I was going to say, we might need to drug test you for that one. Question from Zachary, a good one. I had it on my list. Mason Taylor, what stood out when you saw him today?
Really athletic. He's made a couple of catches. He makes a couple of catches every single day where he's just wide open. They're going to scheme him open very, very clearly. They want to use him as consistently and as often as possible. You are seeing early on what he showed at LSU. He can run block. He can pass block. He can get open. I made the comparison to Zach Ertz, during the draft. I still really like that comparison right now. He is a guy that just comes in, does his job, and goes out. I really like what I've seen so far from him. He's not this dynamic player right away where he's like Arian Smith, where he is just burning coverages left and right, but he is a solid starter, and once he gets more integrated into the offense, he will be a bigger piece moving forward.
If you're one of the over 350 people tuned in live right now, click the thumbs up button. We're only at 94 likes, and we need more likes. And I promise you, the more people that like the video, that somehow increases the Jets' chances of not sucking. Don't ask me how I know that, but you have to take my word for it. So hit the like button. We know Allen's going to hit the dislike button, so ignore him. But to everyone else out there who wants to see this team not stink, that is the ultimate way to do it. That's what Woody Johnson told me before the show, and I'm sticking with that.
I just want to know why Allen is so negative during OTAs. Like, again, even if you think the Jets aren't going to do well this year, there's a lot of young players. There's a lot of players to get excited about and see what could potentially happen. There's a lot of an unknown. And in the case of the unknown, you can be either pessimistic because of what you've seen in the past or optimistic because you don't know what some of these younger players are going to be like. Personally, to me, I think the more optimistic approach is always possible and helpful for the mind.
Now, I know you're driving, Nick, but if you could look at your screen quickly here, this is why Allen is the way he is. We learned about this yesterday when he wrote this, and it's very concerning. But this is why Allen is the way he is. He pleasures himself at all hours of the day, and we're not going to really listen to him anymore. I mean, he has no credibility when this is what we're getting from him.
Can I just see what the full post was? I feel, I'm a little concerned. I want to make sure he's okay.
Oh, you want the full context? Don't worry. People already asked for that earlier, and it didn't make it look any better.
Oh, God. I'm a little concerned. Maybe we should do a wellness check.
No, you know what? Maybe we should just lock him up in prison. Comments, questions, super chats. If you have any questions for Nick, write it in. I'll mix in a couple calls with Nick as well, so we'll start taking those momentarily. Anything else that we missed that we have not discussed? It could be a player, coach, something that stood out from being there today.
Trying to think overall. I kind of mentioned it before last week. This is going to be Garrett Wilson's offense. They are going to scheme him like the Detroit Lions have schemed open Amon-Ra St. Brown. And if it's anywhere close to what Detroit is able to do, Garrett Wilson is going to have a monster season. I'm talking over 110 catches, over 1,300 yards, and close to over 10 touchdowns. It is just – he is the number one focal point of this offense. They don't really have a proven number two receiver that they can trust. And when you don't have that and you have a rushing offense that they are expected to have, the idea is to give him 10 touches a game. I think he's in for a massive, massive season.
Sign me up. Now, I don't think he's going to lead the NFL in receiving yards like Ben Solak predicted, but I think Garrett Wilson, if he stays healthy, I mean, he's going to have, once again, a career year. Like, I think he's going to be the guy.
I don't think he's going to lead the league in receiving yards, but I absolutely could see a path to him leading the league in receptions. I absolutely see that because he's just going to get the ball so many times.
Love it. Good question here from PBM. How was Leonard Taylor today?
Pretty quiet overall. I thought the defensive line in the running game got beat a couple times, but it's also, let's be fair here, the pads aren't on. So the defensive line already at a disadvantage in this way where they can't be ultra physical. So I thought the offense running the ball today looked pretty solid. Once the pads come on, though, if that continues, then that's a different conversation. But he's another one. He is going to be in the rotation, the competition to be a starter potentially along the defensive line and defensive tackle class. It's just a question of what he's able to do in the past.
Jimbo wants to know, how did the other rookies look? Moore, Barron, Kiko.
So Moore has been one that's been pretty quiet to start OTA. I thought Barron had a couple of nice rushes. Kiko's looked solid against the run. But I thought Moore has been pretty quiet. And the way that I look at it, kind of very similar to how Armand Membu is. When you're quiet, you're not giving up big plays. You're around the ball. You're deflecting passes where you need to. So he hasn't been beat really bad. He's been learning the defense. This is an instructional thing overall for the team OTA. So I am impressed with what I have seen from the Jets rookie class, simply because they look like a group that is ready to learn and ready to compete. That is all you can ask for when you have a young group like this.
It's kind of funny. It sounds like Nick has the hiccups because every other word is in and out. Nick, why don't we do this? We'll let you run because I don't want to have you keep trying to connect in and out. We got plenty from you. Appreciate you battling through the connection issues here to give us some instant practice analysis. So drive safe on the rest of your trip back to Queens. Appreciate your time as always, my friend.
Always. Thanks, buddy.
Nick Faria with us. Read his work, Jets X Factor, Athlon Sports, his Twitter account. Make sure you guys follow Nick there, and he'll continue his coverage of the Jets, and he'll continue his weekly appearances on our show, which This will be the third season Nick has been a regular. Crazy. At Nick_Faria1720 if you want to follow him there. All right. Hit the like button if you haven't. I will get to your calls momentarily. Quick reminder. Tomorrow, Nick Shine hosts the first show. I'm taking the day off. Second show, a 13-year-old's hosting it. He might be 14 now. I don't know. Connor Long, how old are you again? He's hosting the second show. So they're going to do a great job. They'll hold it down. I'm taking the next 2 days off. And then I am likely going to do a show Sunday. If not, we'll be back Monday. I'm doing 4 hours of radio Sunday on Mad Dog Sports Radio. So if you want to hear me, 12 to 4, you'll still get me for 4 hours over the weekend. Beast Breaker with a super chat. Send Allen to the hole. Well, Beast, even though I think Allen is a douche, rules are rules around here, and the bounty is still $50. So while $2 is not enough, I will say it is still deserving of me playing this clip because you've earned it, my friend.
Allen, go fuck yourself.
All right. On that note, let's get to your calls. The birthday boy is first up today. Jason in Jerusalem. What's up, Jason? Happy birthday.
Hey, thanks. Happy birthday, Dave Briga.
Two legends. You and Briga. Love that.
Top 5 in OL, I hope so, but we don't have the coaching. I mean, these guys suffered with Keith Carter last year. Who's the OL coach? He was the assistant on Arizona, and Arizona was on the bottom half of the league, if I have that correct, from last year.
Say that one more time.
Who's the OL coach now? Wasn't it somebody who was like the assistant on Arizona last year, and their offensive line was on the bottom half of the league?
O-line coach comes from Detroit with Aaron Glenn. The offensive line coach is Steve Hayden is the guy's name. He was the assistant he was the assistant offensive line coach previously with the Cardinals. He was most recently the tight ends coach with the Lions last year. Steve Hayden is now the offensive line coach.
Right. So you have a guy who wasn't the OL coach last year, and his previous experience was assistant in Arizona when they weren't so good. So top 5, I mean, you might have the bodies for it, but as Keith Carter taught us, without the right coaching, you're worthless as an offensive line.
Correct. And if you believe in Aaron Glenn, he hired his staff. So hopefully he knows how to hire good coaches.
I hope so. But as we saw from Saleh, sometimes you could really suck at doing that, unfortunately.
That we know.
Anyway, do you see the news? I think it was Costello reported it. It looks like Bryce Huff is going to be gone, not be part of Philly this year.
Costello didn't report it. There was a story that came out about how Bryce Huff is unlikely to be in the Eagles' plan. So I talked about it on the first show. I would inquire. I mean, you have a need at edge. I'd inquire and see what it would take.
I mean, the idea that they gave him much fewer snaps, he was playing only third downs, and his stats went down tremendously. I mean, what role does he have on the Jets this year if you Jets brought him back at a good price?
Just situational pass rusher. I mean, let him do what he did the last time he was here. Now it's a different scheme, but a good football player is a good football player. If Glenn thinks he could get him back to what he was, I would take a flyer on him.
Who would you rather on the field, JJ, Will McDonald, or Bryce Huff?
Why not play all three of them on the field in certain pass rush situations or rotate guys in? Because you're still going to need a third edge rusher.
So you're going to take out a DT and put in you're going to run 2 edges? What do they call that, NASCAR?
Yeah, I mean, you see teams do that all the time. Like and if you're playing with leads, you could bring in a pass rush package. Very rarely do the Jets have leads, but the few times they did, we saw something like that before.
It's a bit of a foreign concept for me, unfortunately, to understand that.
Yeah, I mean, look, Huff was not a good fit in Fangio's defense last year. I mean, they had no use for it. It just shows you how loaded Philadelphia was, that they gave a guy $51 million who never played for them, and they still won the Super Bowl and had a great defense.
Yeah, and it's all funny money anyway sometimes with these contracts. It's all backloaded and non-guaranteed and stuff like that. Anyway, still a shout-out to Beast. He's still a babyface, and I'm loving it. What's it called? Tommy Six Rings, or whatever he calls himself, with the memberships. What does he have to do to become a baby space? I mean, you need to find some real big villain here for him to step up and do something right. And I don't know what he could do.
I mean, he's trying to buy my support, and anyone who watches this show knows that I am a Capelfish, so I do appreciate the gesture. It will disgust me, though, if he wins a C.J. Mosley jersey, though, at the end of the show. I just, I don't know if I have it in me to send it to him. I might have to just, refund his money or something, because that's crazy. But You know, I appreciate the gesture. He doesn't seem like a terrible guy. He seems like a bandwagoner. Clearly, I think Purple Belt Mike exposed him yesterday. But we welcome all fans on the show. Except
and Chiefs fan was a 1 seed.
But yeah, no, Chiefs fan was a 1 seed, and he was very respectful of the Jet fan. The problem with the Pat fan is they're just always a-holes. Now, this guy is not from Boston, though, so he doesn't feel like as big of an a-hole as the typical masshole. But still, I don't like him. So he's got to overcome that. It's not going to be easy.
Well, at least he was able to show Beast's bright side.
He did.
For that, we commend him.
Look, he provided an all-time moment with Beastbreaker. I mean, Beastbreaker's popularity has never been higher, which is astonishing.
Yeah, Beast, don't screw it up.
I would agree with that, Beast. Don't screw it up. What are you doing for your birthday, Jason?
Well, I got 5 minutes left, so.
Oh, well.
Not much.
I hope it was a good birthday today, then.
Yeah, it was. All right. Thanks, buddy. Signing off.
Happy birthday. Jason in Jerusalem. Check it in. Big fella writes in, Jake, if Patriots 12 wins the jersey, wipe Beastbreaker's rear end with it before you send it. Now, that would require me to go to Illinois and do that, and I'm going to pass on that, big fella, but I appreciate the idea. Always thinking. Ladies and gentlemen, speak of the devil, buckle the hell up, and reminder, $50 or 10 memberships, he's sent to the hole. Those are the rules, but we're going to give him a chance here because 6 rings is on the line.
I know.
6 rings.
I just came on for a few seconds. You know, it's bad what happened with Stefan Diggs, you know.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on your number 1 wide receiver partying, missing OTAs, and
He
allegedly dishing drugs?
Yeah. He was supposed to be our best player. One of them, at least. And then he went out. And oh, man.
That contract's terrible, by the way. You guys completely overpaid
and the
for him.
receivers, they were supposed to be under him. He's classified as 1. And I thought when they first got him, he'd have an awesome year, at least 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, something, you know.
He's 31 coming off an ACL.
It happens, you know. There's players that played.
I mean, he'd be an outlier, though. Most wide receivers over the age of 30 that suffer that kind of injury don't typically come back and still be number 1 wide receivers in the league.
Yeah, and I came to say the jersey, I guess it was a little far saying it's worth more than your franchise.
Do you take that back?
I take it back for you guys.
All right.
But hey, on the positive, your guy Beast or whatever, he's popular now. I brought you him some ratings. I made him popular.
You did. I can't argue with that. Beast is a very polarizing figure on this show, and it feels like for the first time there's maybe more positive Beast people than negative.
It's good. But yeah, so enjoy your subscribers. Have a good day. And Stefan, he messed it up, man.
Are you going to be a regular 6 rings? Like, we're going to hear from you somewhat regularly?
No, not
now?
every day. You know, my job's casual at the hospital, right? So some days it's 6 weeks, some days it's 3 weeks, 3 days. Sorry, you know what I mean? So it's okay.
All right. Well,
yeah. Enjoy.
Look, you're not
Enjoy
banned.
Subscribers.
Yeah.
And remember, whoever I subscribed today, they got subscribed by a Patriots fan.
It's true. You know, but that's not unusual.
That.
That's not unusual. We've had that with Bills fans on this channel, Dolphins fans. Yeah, we welcome all fans, but you came in and attacked. You understand why this fan base despises you, right? You came in and talked shit about the Jets. You didn't come in and you weren't respectful. That's why people went after you. If you just came in,
I tried to be a heel, you know. I tried to put on like a tough guy act, you know.
Yeah, but you're not a heel. You're a baby face. I could tell. I could tell it was getting to you. You wanted to be well liked. Yeah, that wasn't the right approach.
Yeah, so.
But you know, you dug yourself a hole. Doesn't mean you can't come out of it. Beast was even lower than you, and he's actually a Jets
What happened?
fan.
Why?
Well, there's just a lot of things that have happened since December. It'd be very tough to recap all of it.
You can recap. You recap me, so I think you can recap Beast.
Well, I mean, I would just recommend you just go back to some old shows and really study up on the history of ASMANIACS.
Hey, don't call me a shithead.
That's Peter Castro.
You're the shithead.
Yeah, that's not a smart idea to go after him. I don't recommend that one. That's the wrong guy.
It's okay.
You just got to take it
in
right
the hospital, you have to speak your mind. You have to be straight up with people.
My advice to you is don't antagonize. All right, you just got to take the rookie
That's
hazing.
me. I didn't antagonize.
No, but they're going to come after you because they have not forgotten what you did yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever that was.
I apologized.
Well, great, but people don't just get over it that quick.
I know it was rough.
And Peter Castro's the wrong guy to mess with. You'll be sleeping with the fishes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's okay. Well, anyways, enjoy the show, guys.
That's it? You're
Keep up
done?
the hard work, though. All seriousness, you work hard.
Thank you, Six
You're
Rings.
not the biggest YouTuber yet, but if you keep going, it's hard.
Yep.
I mean, these people are running around with like million subscribers. It's crazy.
Well, if my team actually had the success that your team that you hopped on the bandwagon for, I would probably be there by now. But
Hey, I still hopped on. I still had my story. I got my story straight how I became a Patriots fan. So it's not going to change. We had that 1 year.
yeah, we heard the story, but I question why you saying yesterday or whenever that was, you like to travel, but you've only been to Boston once and you've never been to a Pats game. That doesn't make sense.
Because who wants to travel to Boston? Like Miami. Wouldn't you rather go
What
to
do you
Miami?
mean? Boston? I hate Boston fans, but I have respect for the city. The city itself is a great place to
Yeah,
hang
but
out.
I like going. No, I mean I like going to like Europe. I like going to
But
Jamaica.
you're a fan of the Patriots. I go to MetLife Stadium to watch the Jets, and I lived in Houston doing that. MetLife is a dump, and I still would go because I'm a diehard Jet fan. That's why we question your fandom.
Maybe I should go. Me and my friend were actually thinking about going to see the Bills and the Patriots.
You should. You're
Because it's
supposed to be
so
a
close,
diehard
yeah.
Patriots fan. What type of fan are you? That's why we question your fandom. That said, I do appreciate the kind words, and you're welcome back unless someone throws you in the hole.
He's here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Six Rings. I am shocked no one sent him to the hole. Good restraint by the Asmaniacs there. All right, more of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello to Purple Belt Mike. Hello, Mike.
Yo, I was hoping you're going to bring me on with Six Rings.
He might have pooped himself if I did that.
But, it's all right. Look, I like the fact that the show's growing and we got whatever, but you can't talk shit. And he said he didn't talk shit, but he said that the jersey he got from China was worth more than our franchise.
Right.
That's not going to work here, dude.
And even though he apologized for it, people aren't just going to get over it that quickly. You gotta eat shit for a little bit, and then eventually, if you're not an ass, you'll be welcomed in. We accept other fans around here.
But I think he understands. And he did say sorry, so I think he realized that he kind of was a little too hard and a little too much. So I think he might actually be a good caller at some point. I think he's going to be good, actually.
I mean, I respect the fact he works at the hospital, right? He doesn't seem like a bad human, so I wish him well. I hope his football team sucks every day, but on a human element, doesn't seem like a terrible human.
Yeah, so I think he learned his lesson, and maybe if he finds a Bills show or a Dolphins show, he's gonna learn from what he learned here. Unless he's done that already and he's getting shit on by them too. I don't know. But
he did get 5 memberships. Now it will disgust me if he wins the raffle, but he did put up, hard-earned cash to support the channel. So I can't call him the meanest of words here. I do respect that.
Oh, I missed that. So yeah, see, look, he's getting better. Today, way better than yesterday.
It's a good point.
So, way better than yesterday. So he's going in the right direction. And he also said sorry. So I'm not gonna write the guy off right away. You know what I mean? So it's all good. People make mistakes, and it's how you come out of the mistake. And he didn't double down. So I'm actually giving him flowers because he's better. He did better.
I like it.
So that's good. And if you brought me on with him, I was going to tell him that. So if
I'm
he's
sure he's
still
still
listening,
watching. Yeah, hopefully he's still
still
watching.
listening, dude. No hard feelings. Well, a little bit because you shit on my team yesterday, but today is better than yesterday.
Was that
Keep getting
yesterday
better.
or 2 days ago? I don't even know.
I thought it was yesterday.
It might have been yesterday.
I don't
think
know.
it was.
Dude.
Yeah, I do too many shows.
Yeah, pretty sure it was yesterday. But all right, man. Hit some other callers up.
Mike,
Go Knicks.
let's go Knicks. Keep the season alive, baby.
Hey, go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Don't lose at home. Get it back to Indiana and go from there. One game at a time. That's all you could do. That is all you could do. All right, more of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's check in with the great, the incomparable Kyle Clifton.
What's up, Jake?
Hello, Mr. Clifton.
It's unsurprising to me that great Patriots like Jason from Jerusalem and Dave Rega share a birthday with Patrick Henry. Give me liberty or give me death.
That is a great take. I did not realize that.
So this guy's six rings. Like, I don't know how to read this guy. Like, it's almost like endearing. Like, he tried to be a heel, but he didn't know anything about his team, and PBM showed him up yesterday. And it's kind of like he's trying to get back into our good graces because he's realizing the quality of the show here. It's almost like we have a Patriot pet, right? And the guy is really nice, and it's also like kind of in a way oddly endearing to have someone who's just trying to find his footing as far as his football fandom, and in the way the show is helping him do it. I mean, Canadians are notoriously nice. We know that from one of our own, who's part of the show here, our own community. And he doesn't seem like a bad guy. It's just, maybe just trying to find his way a little bit. We might have to give him a little bit of a leeway and see if he can prove himself.
On a side note, you brought up the great Boomtown, right? One of our favorite Canadian, the chairman of our committee and in charge of the monthly rankings, which will be coming out next week. He writes in, I think from now on, the chat, once it hears Kyle's intro, needs to predict if you will be inside or outside for his call. How do you feel about that, Mr. Clifton?
That's fine. I mean, I think if there were a betting pool, I of course would recuse myself from that, but it might be another way to drum up interest in the show.
If that becomes a thing, it just speaks volumes about how great, and I already know how great the audience is, but it just continues to add levels to it.
Just one thing about what we were talking about before with Arian Smith. Like, I don't think Nick realizes that we just came through 3 years with Lazard dropping the football, and we're Jet fans, right? And we had these expectations for this guy that was going to be Rodgers' guy to come in and provide at least some veteran stability. And now there's another guy that maybe has a little bit more expectations because of his physical talent. But we know in the back of our head that catching the football has been a problem. We got to see it first, right? And I mean, that's always going to be the problem, the case with draftees. But like, he can look good in camp. He can, but until he shows that he can catch the ball effectively enough to at least be a decoy or to be something that the defense has to mind, it's not going to be something that the fans are going to buy into in May. And that's just the simple fact of the matter.
Look, I rather hear that he's playing well and making every catch than the opposite, but I agree. Like, it's not going to matter until we see it in actual games. Like, even if he does it in the preseason, that's not nothing either, because like there's lights on, you're in pads, like there's still pressure when you're out there playing. Like, if he has a good preseason, I'll start to feel a little more encouraged. But even then, we got to see it when the games start. Like, this guy has a path to be the number 2 receiver on the like. That to me just speaks volumes on how crappy the receiver room is, if that's true already. That's how I would look at that.
That's exactly right. And I kind of agree with Alan a little bit, because he's in the chat going, well, if he can't catch, he can't catch. But that's really neither here nor there. If he's showing a little bit in camp, I'm willing to let him prove it. I know I have a rep as a bit of an Arian Smith hater, which is.
What are you going to prove on drops though? Like, you could get better at it.
Yeah, I hope so. It's just a matter of like, maybe the game can slow down for him a little bit. He seems to dedicate himself to it, and the team brass seems to have faith in him. So it's something to watch. It's one of the more important things, I think, to watch in the coming months. I'll talk to you soon, Jake.
Great call, Kyle. I mean, he's a polarizing prospect because it's not his fault, but he was thought to be a guy that was not going to be drafted or 6th or 7th round pick, and they took him in the 4th round when they had needs at defensive tackle, edge. There were other receivers people liked. So, and unfortunately, we've been burnt as Jet fans, not just with Lazard, who Kyle brought up, but Elijah Moore, Denzel Mims, Adarius Stewart, Chad Hansen. Like, other than Garrett Wilson, name me the receiver this franchise has drafted that's been any good. And Garrett Wilson's supposed to be good. He was the top 10 pick in the draft. Thank God he's good. Because, the Jets have certainly screwed up top 10 picks previously. So they got it right, obviously, with Garrett. But, Stonehand, Stephen Hill, Devin Smith, I could keep going, but your ears are going to bleed. All right? So that's why we're questioning it. The last time the Jets hit on a player at the wide receiver spot that was not a day one pick, you got to go back to Lavernius Coles. You got to go back to Jericho Cottrey. It's been bad. That's why we're like, let's see it. But you know what? We've been high on some of these guys that they did pick, and they sucked. So maybe because a lot of us didn't like the pick, ironically, this will be the one guy that's actually good. Like, watch. Mason Taylor's going to suck, and Arian Smith's going to be awesome. We all love the Taylor pick. Watch Smith be the better player. That kind of just happens sometimes, right? And by the way, go back and look what the Packers got in the Aaron Rodgers trade. The best player that was involved in that trade is Will McDonald. He's a Jet. All right? The guys the Packers took can't play. They're not good. Will McDonald's better. So think about that for a moment, too, by the way. They gave up 2 seconds for Aaron Rodgers. It was worth it. Didn't work. It was worth it every damn time. And they ended up with the best player from that class. No one talks about that, though, because it's always lol Jets, which I get it. They got to win, but that's a fact. Ladies and gentlemen, a fact of the matter is JYB is one of the all-time greats. He is in the raffle for 20 entries because he sent in a $100 super chat saying, I can't sit by and have a Pats fan win a signed Jet jersey. Let's go, JYB. Now, give me money. Or I shoot him. And I shoot all you motherfuckers. And then we take it. Your choice, bitches. Appreciate you, JYB. You were the man, my friend. Good luck to you. You're in our daily raffle. I'm giving away this right here at the end of the show. Signed and authenticated CJ Mosley jersey. All right, I will mail it to you with other Asmaniac swag. So that is what we're giving away at the end of the show. And if you don't win at the end of the show, on Monday, you have a chance to win a signed Walt Clyde Frazier jersey, a signed Joe Namath jersey, and another chance to win a separate CJ Mosley jersey. With that said, tomorrow, hosting the afternoon show is the great Connor Long, and he has called in. Hello, Connor. How was school today?
Jake, how you doing, my man? School was school. How you doing?
Now, are you prepared to host the program tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern time?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Again, I can't thank you so much for this opportunity. Nick, obviously holding down the fort in the morning. I'm going to do my best to, fill your shoes for the afternoon show. Asmaniacs, it's going to be a fun time. So be here this channel tomorrow afternoon show. Jake, again, thank you so much, my man. I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Now, your discretion needs to be advised here, right? If you see something that you don't like, let her rip. Don't give people the benefit of the doubt. Send their ass to the hole as quickly as possible, especially if it's Allen, especially if it's Bang Mateo. If Gary's out of whack, send them there. Like, don't feel like you got to play nice with these people, all right?
All right. Thank you for the intel there, Jake. I will definitely keep that in mind.
All right. I will talk to you later on, but definitely. I'm very excited for you, Connor. It's going to be awesome. The audience is going to support you, and it's going to be great.
Appreciate that, Jake. Asmaniacs, be there tomorrow afternoon show here on this channel. Jake, again, thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day. And guys, don't put too much stock into OTAs. I'll say that right now. These guys are throwing around the ball with no pads. When we get pads on in training camp, when we're playing games in preseason, that's when it begins to matter. But I never put too much stock into OTAs. So that's what I'll say. You want to hear great things. Obviously, you don't want to hear concerns coming out of Florham Park this time of year, but never put too much stock onto the on-field production. I focus more on the press conference quotes here. Jake, appreciate it. Have a great day.
Hey, before you go, Connor, real quick, Nate makes a good point. Nick is going to take down my channel before you even get a chance to stream. So assuming Nick doesn't burn it down.
That might be a problem.
Yeah. Assuming Nick doesn't burn it down in the morning, you'll be on in the afternoon. Also, I do want to share this. I don't know if you saw it on the first show. So this idea came together because someone just suggested it in the comments because I was just going to not have any content on the channel for a day tomorrow. And your text to me that you were going to try and get out of school so you could do both shows was hilarious. So I do want you to know, you go to school tomorrow, the show could be at 4:30, gives you plenty of time to come home, have your your afternoon snack, right? I don't know what you kids are eating these days. You could have some Lunchables, whatever you're doing. and then you'll be ready to go for 4:30 tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I'll be all ready for my, again, the way my school district handles field day is not the traditional way. It's a terrible way. They divide the school into two halves, and the team I'm on, the whole school, it actually ends up winning each year. But in my grade, they put all the great kids on the other team. I'm like the only kid in kickball who could kick a ball. I'm the only kid in hockey who could score a goal. So once I get back from crappy field day, I'm all healed up to host the Jake Asman show.
Let's go. Connor Long, a man amongst boys now. That's what you've done, Connor.
Appreciate that, Jake.
Connor Long, he's filling in tomorrow. We've never done a guest host before, so we're trying it out tomorrow. Hit the like button, comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is one of the greats. In fact, honestly, any of these calls I go to are one of the greats. So it's going to be redundant, but we will go in order in which they called in to be as fair as possible to the process. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is Ricky and Y time.
Ricky, New York is my name. Florida State is my game. My internet sucks, call him Jake. When it's time to smoke and debate, the New York Jets are gonna win. My team since I was a kid. My New York Jets are gonna win. I'm Ricky, New York. Don't forget that. Florida State, bitches. New York Jets, we got this shit. It's time to win, baby. Win. Can't wait.
Hey, how's it going, Jake?
What's up, Ricky?
Not a whole lot. And, you know, that Gator's right in that video. It's time to win. And for the 6 rings, guys, he can keep trying to flaunt those 6 rings. But guess what? We only have 1 ring. But we've got a real coach, and we're back. And it's just like that movie says, 1 ring to rule them all. So everybody in our division, get ready. I'm glad to see that more people are in the fan base are buying in to Aaron Glenn. I never had a doubt. Very happy. You know, and as you were speaking earlier, as soon as you started saying how far back do we have to go, of course, I thought Lavernius Coles right away. Florida State. You know, that probably was our last big one. But looking forward to this. Thank you very much. I read your email just before I came onto the show, and thank you for wishing me an early birthday. But it was yesterday, so it's actually late, but that's okay.
Happy belated birthday, then. I didn't. So wow. So your birthday was yesterday. Briga and Jason and Jerusalem's is today. That is a lot of legendary Asmaniac birthdays, all within 24 hours of each other.
Yes, and Weed the People was the day before mine. So we're going 3 days in a row with birthdays for the Asmaniacs right now. So,
happy birthday, Weed. I didn't see that. Happy birthday. Happy belated to Weed.
Yeah, awesome. Just, you know, lot of birthdays this week. And also I clicked your link to for the tickets for the Tampa game today, too. So also I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to meet all you guys in person and, you know, be able to smoke and debate in person and instead of over the internet. Looking very, very forward to that. And you know what? That's pretty much it. You know, I'm going to be nice today. I was going to end my call with letting you know that Beast's approval rating with everybody is not higher, because I'm not on board with that. But
you didn't like that move? He knocked a Patriot fan to the hole. Come on.
You know what? This is what
He's proved his loyalty to this community with that move. You gotta respect that, right? At the bare minimum.
It was great seeing a Patriot fan get kicked to the side, but when Beast calls people a fraud, like we see his attic every day, okay? Around the window, there's every wrestling promo from the 80s that you can think of, heavy metal everywhere. I noticed since I called him out on it the first time, he's been very careful not to point the camera over towards the bed where he has that 49ers picture over his Mario picture. What I don't see anywhere on his walls is one single thing New York Jet anywhere. So for
but you've seen him calling with the hat and the Curtis Martin jersey.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not 100% buying it, but like I said, I'm going to be nice. He did kick a Patriot at the end of the curb, so I'll give him a pass today. But at any rate, I'm looking forward to this season. Everything I'm hearing so far seems very encouraging, and you know what? I think we got the right man for the job. And that's all I got to say, man. Go Aaron Glenn, go Jets, go Asmaniacs, and I'll see you all in September.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ricky NY, who just celebrated a birthday. Happy belated birthday to the great Ricky NY.
You get the fuck out.
Now we'll let Aaron Glenn tell you to get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, best audience in sports. Bo C, are you kidding me? A $100 super chat in our raffle at the end of the show for the signed Mosley jersey for 20, in the main raffle for 20, of course. And his answer as to why he did it, I am donating to the person of your choice if I win, Jake. No Patriot fans are winning anything on this channel. JETS, Jets. Wow. Give it up to Bo C. Now, Bo, earlier today, he did win a prize. He won the Brees Hall trading card, if memory serves, which I sent out today, Bo. So it should be there in a day or so, because that's typically how long it takes, because you don't live that far. So, yeah, Bo won that earlier. Also, Indy Jets, your Braylon Allen jersey was mailed to you today. Ralph, your Anthony Beck jersey was mailed to you today. And J-Boy, your other Anthony Beck jersey that was raffled was sent out today. So whoever wins this Mosley jersey, it will be sent out early next week after we announce the winners of the Namath, Clyde, and that other CJ jersey will be given away. But anyway, Bo, really appreciate you. Thank you. Super chat from the Kyle Clifton. He's in our raffle for 2. Says, Connor with the growth spurt. Connor's voice is deepening, man. That puberty is really hitting. All right, he's becoming a man. That's why we could trust him to host this program tomorrow for an hour or however long it goes. John with a super chat. Shout out to my son, Grayson. Go Jets. Grayson, shout out to you. Shout out to your dad. He's the man. And our guy, J-Mags, he doesn't call in, but he's always active on Discord. He's always locked into every show. His wife is maybe the real star of the family, though. I think Jay would even admit that. Shout out to Mia. 5-spot channel memberships. Jay is in our raffle. He's a huge Knicks fan. So, Jay, this is for you.
Go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go.
Right after I get done with this, I'm off to the Garden. Knicks better stay alive tonight. Jeffrey R., Adrian Flores, Donovan Morgan. One more. Make the Jets cool again, and Matthew C., all receiving a channel membership from J-Mag. So, Jay, appreciate you. And with that said, let's say hello right now. Looks like we got a family affair here. Izzy's on the line. What's up, Izzy? You don't call it, now you're calling twice in the same day. How about that?
So what's been going on? I usually work during the week, but I got my wisdom teeth pulled 2 days ago, so I'm off work for a whole week.
Nice.
So I've had a chance to catch all the shows, but
How
this
you
is
feeling?
my youngest. Huh?
How you feeling? Did it go well?
It's sore. I healed pretty good. This is like the 3rd day, so I'm decent now. But I've been eating like applesauce and tomato soup for the past couple of days.
Your kids probably love that.
Yeah. This is my youngest right here. This is my oldest. You want to say hi? This is the one that wants the Jermaine Johnson jersey. That's
Love that. Love that. Nice to meet you guys. Your dad's awesome.
Yeah, so we're just chilling, man. I caught the show late. I think Arian Smith has a good chance to be. I don't see him as a number 2 because the way our number 1 is Garrett Wilson. I think the number 2 has to be a physical receiver. In my eyes, like if I was building a team, I want my second receiver to be physical. A little bit bigger too. But I think he could definitely have a role in this offense, like for sure.
Well, it's interesting because I think the tight end position, right? I think that's part of the reason why they took Taylor. Like I could see like their number 2 pass catcher being a tight end. Like they might not have a number, like maybe by definition there's a number 2 receiver, but I like what he's doing with his head there. I do appreciate that.
So goofy, man.
But like I could see like obviously Garrett's the de facto the guy in the offense, and then like if you just look at targets, I could see a tight end like Mason Taylor maybe being even number 2 in targets, and it also could depend on the game too, depending on what type of opponent they're going up against.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get me a Mason Taylor jersey. That's my next one. But yeah, I'm excited. I think that I also really am curious to see if Malachi Corley can come in, man, because I mean, you don't get the name Yak God for no reason, you know, in college. I think that he has a chance to really be great. So, but we'll see. You know, I think that I'm watching him, man. You don't hear much about him in training camp, but yeah, my wife just got home. So
tell her we say hello as well.
They say hello on the Jake Asman show.
Hello.
I'm about to take Mr. Bonesy's spot.
Yeah. You have 2 kids or 3, you said?
I got 2 kids. I got 2 kids. Yeah,
you
2
need
boys.
1 more to match Bonesy if you're interested.
Oh yeah, we got a little dog right here, a little baby girl right here. Go get the dog. He wants to show you the dog. Go get her. Here you go. This is Lily. We just got her a couple weeks ago.
Oh, she's so cute. That's adorable.
She's adorable, right?
Hold on, I'm going full screen with you. That's great.
Yeah, that's
Look at
Lily
that.
right there.
That's an adorable family photo right here.
Yeah, isn't it? We have a beautiful one.
I love it. You're blessed, Izzy. I appreciate you making the call, man.
Thank you. Hey, they want to give a Jets chant before we get out of here. Y'all ready?
Oh, let's go. Wait, hold on. I hit the wrong button. Wait, stand by. That's on me. StreamYard's acting up. Hold on. Let's do this properly. Go ahead.
Ready? 3. J-E-T-S. Jets. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Izzy and company, the family. Love it. That's a great call. Izzy, you got to become a regular, man. Izzy's going far in Asmaniac Madness if he becomes a regular. There's no doubt. Speaking of the devil, JD stole my thought. Izzy has my vote for Asmaniac Tourney. Yeah, I mean, especially that dog is on the screen more. That was the cutest puppy ever. Love it. Where's my Asmaniac Madness drop? I haven't played it in a while. Love it. The number 1 seed in Asmaniac Madness. Well, he's on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids. Need some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, Charles!
Hey, Jake. How are you?
Hello, Charles.
I'm in my new apartment right now.
What? Are we going to get the tour?
Sure, hold on.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, a groundbreaking moment. Charles Gorman in his new home, and he's about to show us what it looks like.
Here's my table.
Okay.
Here's my fridge. It's got water in it.
You have a lot of stuff in there, clearly.
Yeah, obviously just water. Here's some barbecue chips. Here's the air fryer Thunder Lips gave me. Thank you, Thunder Lips.
He sent you an air fryer?
Yeah, he sent me an air fryer. No bullshit. I was like, what?
Wow. Thunder Lips. Shout out to you, man. I'm putting Thunder Lips in the raffle for 5. I hope everyone's okay with that. That's an awesome gesture.
Here's my microwave from my grandmother's apartment. Here's the toaster oven. It's up
Why is
there.
it in the closet?
Because it is. I put it there for safekeeping, so no one steals it.
What are you going to use it?
Of course I am.
So why don't you hook it up?
Well, the thing is, I know this might set up a "that's what she said" joke, but the plug's not long enough.
Okay, so do you have like an extension cord?
No, I'm saying I put it on top of the stove.
Okay.
With pads on it, and I connected the microwave in there, so I can only use one at a time.
Okay.
Connected the air fryer, so.
All right, we can work on the placement of everything, but that's good to know. It's in the closet.
Here's my television from my grandmother. Here's a picture of me with my friends, Colin and Corinne. There's a picture with me and my family. Here's my cable box. Here's my original Xbox console.
Wow. Hey, do me a favor. Sit on your couch, and let's see what the view is like as Charles Gorman sits down and he watches a big Jets game this year.
I may plan on going to I don't know if you heard, Jake, but Richie from Jets Media, a huge shout out to him. He's doing his Jets Media event on the home opener, September 7th.
That's correct.
And I know the package is like over $300. I may just do the tailgate one and get a game ticket for myself.
Well, I was talking to Richie today. He was nice enough to invite me. Unfortunately, I don't know if I can make the home opener yet because I don't have my ESPN radio schedule. So I'm hoping to make it. But if I'm there, Charles, I definitely will say hello to you. That'll be great.
That'll be awesome, too. Plus, it's 3 days before my birthday, so I have to give myself an early birthday gift. Yeah, it's
All
on
right.
September 7th. My birthday is September 10th.
And my birthday is the 18th. We're both September birthdays.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm
Now, let
back in
me-
my apartment. I just had a late lunch at my parents' house. At my old house, I had a couple of chicken tender sandwiches. You know, it was very nice, man.
That's tremendous. Now, like, can we see the bathroom, Charles? Can we see where the magic
Yes,
happens?
the bathroom. Yes, the bathroom. You all been wanting to know. Has Charles christened his new toilet yet?
Yes, we all want to know.
I want to let you know. If you see any mutated sea creatures, tell them it's not my fault.
There she is, boys and girls, in all its glory.
Taking a shower.
What type of shampoo does Charles Gorman use?
Well, I need to get shampoo. I should have probably got it before I came back here, but it is what it is.
What do you mean you need to get shampoo? Have you showered without shampoo?
I shower with a bar of soap. Is that good enough?
Yeah, you got to wash your hair. No, you need shampoo and conditioner.
I'll see what I can do.
How are you living on your own? This is insane. Charles, what type of shampoo do you use? I will Amazon you some shampoo and conditioner right now.
Oh, stop it. You don't have to Amazon me every damn thing, including the kitchen sink.
You need shampoo and conditioner.
Let's see here. Oh, more hooks. And a toothbrush.
You were at Costco yesterday. Why didn't you get shampoo?
You didn't have I only had enough money to buy a fucking hot. Excuse my language. I only had enough money to get a hot dog.
Then why are you living on your own if you can't afford shampoo and conditioner?
I could have gotten it for my family, but I didn't, like an idiot.
Well, that's why I want to send you shampoo and conditioner.
You want to send me shampoo, conditioner, and aftershave, correct?
Yeah, a aftershave was going to be my gift, but you said you already had that.
Yeah, but it's not in my apartment. It's at my house.
Why? If you know you're living on your own, why don't you bring things that you need to live on your own?
It's a good question.
Gator says you need a first aid kit as well. Boomtown writes in, Charles, my wife just said you can't get a woman smelling like you don't have shampoo and conditioner. It's a good point.
That's true, yes.
We're gonna need we got to get you some shampoo and some conditioner. Big fella said he wants to send you some stuff as well. So why don't you message me your address again, and I'll get it into the hands of the right people. Even though I think I have it from Nick Shiner, and I just gotta look.
I'll email you my address, Jake. Don't worry.
All right. And also, Peter Castro makes a good point. No pics of Jake who finances you. Yeah, that picture we took at the draft party, Charles. All right. You got to print that and put it in a frame. That should go in the Charles apartment.
I'll keep that in mind next time we see each other. Okay, buddy?
Will you, though? I don't know if you will.
Jake,
Yes,
I
Charles?
don't forget people who treat me nicely.
Well, I mean, it's also just a great photo. I mean, look at us, Charles. We were having a great evening.
But we did exchange numbers, so that's a good thing.
That's right. Yep. And you used it to blow up my phone requesting money for your cheeseburger 2 weeks ago.
It wasn't a cheeseburger. It was other bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was. I'm sorry. It was it was like a smash burger. My apologies. They also sell chicken sandwiches as well.
Oh, okay. So that's good to know.
Hopefully the Knicks win tonight, but I have a feeling they're going to lose. I just have that damn feeling, man.
Well, I
Call
don't
me a
care what
negative
feeling you
Nancy.
have.
Call me an Allen 2.0. I really don't care. I think the Knicks are going to lose, but hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. Yankees swept the Angels last night, 1-0. Rodon pitched the hell again.
They did.
He's been good. He's been good with the Yankees these last couple of years.
He didn't
First
pitch
year he was
last night,
terrible.
though. Rodon did.
Who did?
Rodon pitched 2 nights ago, and he was excellent. Last night, Warren pitched. He was great. And then
Oh, I
Leiter got
forgot.
the save. Yeah.
I forgot about that. Crap, my bad.
You're welcome. Let me do the show here. Chef Kevin writes in, Charles, what's your favorite meal to make?
What's my favorite meal of all time? Shit. I like chicken. Well, I'll tell you one of them. Chicken with
Favorite
garlic
meal
and
is to
rice.
eat shit? That's what you're telling us?
No, I said shit.
Makes sense considering this is the same guy who did this on camera.
I think the second one. Excuse me. Actual shit, that would be disgusting. My actual favorite meal, Chef Kevin, is chicken with the garlic and white rice.
Curly Norman says, show us the porcelain pony, Chuck. The people want it.
Porcelain pony? You mean my penis?
I would hope not. Garrett with a super chat here. He's in the raffle for 2. Mane and tail money for Charles.
I'm good with that. Thank you. Mane and tail money? What the hell is he talking about?
You need shampoo is what you need. Are you walking distance to like a CVS or a Walgreens?
I don't think so, no.
So you got dropped off at your apartment, correct? Because you don't drive.
That's correct. I have a big fear of driving.
So if you want to go anywhere, what's
I
the
take
process?
Uber, but I have a sweet account with sweet influence.
I see. So you could just go anywhere with that? How does that work?
I can go, and they give me money for the week. I get replenished every week, and I go wherever that I'm able to go as long as the money's reasonable for my sweet influence account.
I see. Big fella checks in. Charles, women like cheese on pizza, not men who smell like mozzarella.
I mean, mozzarella? Mozzarella?
Nick Shine writes in that calling into a YouTube show with a bloody neck would be disgusting too.
Gee, thanks, Nick. I appreciate that.
There you go. Don't move.
Oh, shit. You're not kidding.
How's the neck, by the way? Have you recovered?
Yes, I heal pretty fast. I'm not like Wolverine fast, but I heal pretty quickly.
It kind of just adds more legitimacy to my theory that Wolverine shaved you. Now, I don't know what this next guy on the line is going to say. I will bring him up momentarily. Let me get caught up on the super chats. PBM says, I want to buy you something, Charles. DM the address.
Discord, no problem, Purple Bell Mike. As a matter of fact, I can text you my address, so don't worry about it.
All right. Ryan says, my daughter is watching Charles in disbelief.
If that's a bad thing, I apologize.
Now, there's a guy on the line who knows a thing or two about home appliances. So I'm going to bring him on. I think he wants to talk to you, and I'm sure he'll have some salient advice.
Is it Dave Brigga?
It is not Dave Brigga, but wish him a happy birthday right now.
I did in the chat. Happy birthday, Dave Brigga, and happy belated birthday to my guy, Ricky New York. And happy birthday to Joseph in Jerusalem, I think his name was.
Jason,
my bad.
Gas station pizza is better than a Big Mac.
Gary, will you be buying Charles a vacuum as is tradition in your household?
Actually, my dad's going to get me a vacuum from my grandmother's, but he did give me a broom and pan. What the hell did he put the broom in the pan? No. Wait. Put it right here. Oh.
Is Batman the wackest superhero?
What does that have to do with furniture?
I'm just asking because you got a Batman shirt on. Is that the lamest superhero, Batman?
No.
Does he even have a superpower?
You don't need superpowers to be a superhero, my friend.
Kind of by definition, you do. Who wins in a fight? Bruce Lee, who's an actual person, or Batman?
It depends if Batman's wearing body armor, but it'll be a hell of a fight, though.
Bruce Lee washes him, dog walks him. Easy, quick fight, 2 rounds or less. Bruce Lee dog walks Batman. And that's an actual person, not a superhero. Jake, who do you got, Bruce Lee or Batman in a fight?
Bruce Lee or Batman?
Yeah.
And Batman can't use any of the things that makes him Batman?
What makes him Batman? He can use whatever he's got. He's still going to lose.
No,
I think he can't use his Batarang. He can't use his bat bolos. He can't use his bat laser. It's a straight up hand-to-hand fight. Batman's a great fighter.
I mean, Batman, if we're going by the Batman I know, the only Batman I truly acknowledge is my Batman, Christian Bale, then
fair enough.
He was trained by Ra's al Ghul, so I think he would take down Bruce Lee.
Well, in the comics, Batman was trained by samurai and ninjas.
I think Bruce Lee bodies him quickly. Like it's over before it starts. Really.
Now, if you give me Christian Bale Batman, he beats Bruce Lee.
I don't know. Christian Bale Batman's not as good of a fighter as some of the other Batman I saw.
Who's the better Batman?
I'm more of a Michael Keaton fan.
All right, I think I don't know. I think Christian Bale is the best Batman.
Also, well, look, that's just everyone's entitled to their opinion. I still think the best Batman voice is Kevin Conroy.
Peter Castro wants to know.
That's
if
a
you're
good question.
homesick.
I'm not homesick. No.
How far?
You'll get homesick. You'll get homesick. Like, how far are you from the crib?
About 10 minutes.
How long?
All right, you'll be home all the time.
How far?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
As I was saying, you don't need superpowers to be a superhero. It says it in the
By
definition.
I feel like you do. Like, then what if you don't have? Then define the superhero.
A person who wears an outlandish costume has a set of morals and fights crime.
That's kind of that's kind of a broad definition. Like, I mean, I feel like you got to have some type of superpower, or then you're not a superhero.
Batman's
You're just a
superpowers that he
hero.
never gives up.
All right.
I've been a Batman fan as big as I've been a Batman fan as long as I've been a Superman fan. As long as I've been a fan of DC Comics.
Have you been a
I
Jet
consider
fan
myself a
longer
true
than you've
DC
been a
Comics
Batman
fan.
fan?
Since I was 5 or 6.
So longer than your Jet fandom?
Yes.
Okay.
Much longer than my Jet fandom.
I
fan
wanted to ask you a question, Charles. You're talking about what was it called? Sweet. What was it called? That drives you around?
Sweet Influence is an organization that helps people with disabilities with some things. Yes. What is
Is
it?
that like okay? Because I can't drive either, and I've heard of this, but I don't know anything about it. How do you get in contact with them? Is it?
Well, it's from DDD, the Department of Developmental Disabilities.
Okay.
How are the neighbors, Charles?
The neighbors are fine.
Are they aware of what you're capable of?
I haven't met all my neighbors, but some of them I've had a few quick conversations with them, but that's about it.
Did
It's a
you give them a
quiet,
heads
nice
up?
apartment. What?
You give them a heads up that at any given time they might hear something like this?
Oh. If I have to.
Nick Shine writes in, by Charles' definition, handyman, played by Damon Wayans, is a superhero.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of like you kind of give a. I don't know.
You mean
the definition
on
of
a
a
blank
superhero,
man,
like,
or whatever the hell his name is?
I would say a hero with superpowers, right? Like a courageous.
Let me look up the definition of superheroes for you, Gary. People about Mike wants to be on the Batman conversation. I actually talked about this on my channel, but no one watched it.
Mike joins us now. Hello, Mike.
All right, listen. Look, Gary, this is the reason why Batman's a superhero. So Batman is the pinnacle of man. He's the world's greatest detective. He's the world's greatest boxer. He's the world's greatest.
Actually, that's
jiu-jitsu guy.
Wildcat.
He's the world's
So you're taking him in a
greatest
fight over
kung fu
Bruce Lee.
artist. He's the world's great. He's the best at everything. He's the
Bruce
best.
Lee's better.
He's not the greatest escape artist. That's
Bruce Lee
Mr. Miracle.
So the
The best boxer is Wildcat.
The pinnacle of a human being, that's Batman, because he's literally the best at everything a man can do. So his mind, his body.
All of those things you just named, Bruce Lee's better than him at. All of them.
No, he's not.
Purple belt, Mike. Can I say
Bruce
something?
Lee's also
Please?
5'2", dude.
Bruce
You
Lee
know
got
that,
his
right?
ass kicked by Brad Pitt.
And
See,
Bruce Lee also lost fights.
This is a truth in life. Whenever you see a big jack guy, like the biggest guy in the room, I know one thing about that guy: he can't fight because he got real big. You know why? Because he can't fight. So he got real big.
John Jones. John Jones is the baddest
There's
mother ever on the
exceptions,
planet.
Jake. There's exceptions. You're gonna find like one exception, John Jones.
What do you mean
Typically,
one exception?
There's
the
truth
biggest
to what
guy
Gary
in
is
the room
saying. Like
can't
the
fight.
biggest, most jacked people will gas out within 30 seconds. He's right. If you got like a big, like 260-pound guy and you can last about a minute of him gassing out, he's going to be so tired that you can just take his back and choke him out right away.
Yeah, but John Jones is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
But John Jones is not crazy big and jacked.
He's a heavyweight. He's like 270 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, but
you're going to be able to find
not like
exceptions. John
bodybuilder, like
Jones
Triple H
is
looking.
an exception. Lennox Lewis is an exception. But these are like rare, once in a lifetime exceptions.
He's right. And also, John Jones is a trained fighter and wrestled his entire life. Like, if you're going to
that's
take
what I'm
somebody
talking about. We're
out
talking
of
about
context, like if you took John Jones and never trained him, then he would lose a fight to Gary, 100%.
Okay, he's 250, 6'4". Like John Jones,
John Jones is the greatest fighter that ever lived, 100%.
Yeah.
But he's trained. I'm talking about someone his stature and size, untrained.
Okay.
Now I understand. You find a random big guy.
That guy,
he can't
if
fight.
you clone John Jones and just never wrestled in high school in Rochester and he never trained and fought, he would get his ass kicked in probably a minute or less. And now if you look at like the best athletes in the world, like if you want to talk about we could use a Jet for instance, like Garrett Wilson. Well, Garrett Wilson's a little skinny. You can use Brees Hall, right? Solid guy, whatever. He's not going to gas out in a minute, but he's not going to know what he's doing, and he's going to get hit too many times or taken down because he doesn't train. It's all about training. Like if the person is trained, there's only so much athleticism and strength can get you, but technique and speed beat everything. No matter what it is.
I want to answer that question. Bruce Lee beats everyone. Bruce Lee is like water, adapt to any situation. So Bruce Lee beats Aaron Donald in an elevator. He beats John Jones in an elevator. Bruce Lee beats anyone in any situation. Yes, he does.
Can I speak,
Bruce
please?
Lee beats anyone in any
Bruce
situation.
Lee's an actor. Bruce Lee lost actual fights. Do you know like the real story about like Bruce
All
Lee?
right, calm down. Calm down, PBM. Like, no one's beaten Bruce Lee in a fight.
John
Bruce
Jones
Lee's lost fights before.
He eats Bruce Lee. Eats him.
Can I speak, please?
He's 5'2". He's gonna lose. Yes, Gorman, go ahead.
Going back to the whole Batman situation, yes, he's the world's greatest detective. Yes, he's one of the greatest fighters in all of comics and fiction. But he's also, when it comes to Batman, he trained his body and mind for over 10 years to the peak of human perfection. The man can bench press 1,000 pounds and leg press 2,500 pounds. He routinely fights superhumans like Deathstroke the Terminator, and he feels Batman's punches. You know who Deathstroke the Terminator is, Gary? Gary, answer the question. Do you know who Deathstroke the Terminator is?
Deathstroke the Terminator?
It's not Arnold Schwarzenegger, tell you that much.
Yeah, I don't know who I don't know who this is. I'm not a huge comic book guy. I mean, I not a huge comic guy. But yeah, who is?
Well, he's a mercenary that was enlisted in the army at age 16. Went through a super soldier-like experiment that gave him superhuman abilities, including the ability to use 90% of his effing brain to predict his opponent's tactics. He's regarded as just as good, if not a better strategist than Batman. He's also one of the best fighters in the DC universe. He also has a regenerative healing factor. The reason why I'm saying is because whenever he fights Batman, he still feels the pain of his punches afterwards. Batman's one of the strongest non-powered superhumans in the DC universe. And all the comics, too. The man...
I'm with Chuck.
Now, obviously...
It's great because he's got so much more product knowledge. It's hard to rebut him. Like, I've seen Bruce Lee movies. I've seen like all of them 100 times. It's hard for me to think anyone is beating Bruce Lee, especially Batman.
Well, Bruce Lee was
I can't really counter him. I don't really have any counter for him. He's got way more knowledge than I do on the subject.
Ladies and gentlemen,
He also fought Chuck Norris. And
Gary,
Chuck Norris was a trained fighter, too.
We found something Gary doesn't know everything about. What a moment.
But as I was saying, he fought Chuck. Remember, I forgot the name of the movie. He fought Chuck Norris in a movie, and he beat Chuck Norris. And Chuck Norris is a legendary fighter, too. As a matter of fact, he's a trained fighter, too, Chuck Norris.
I'll take Dave Brigga over anyone. That one punch, the great equalizer.
Yeah, I mean,
And the fight between him and Chuck Norris is pretty damn good, that I will say. And I'm a huge Chuck Norris fan.
All right, on that note, are we done here, gentlemen?
Yes, and I'm wearing a Batman t-shirt. I do have a Superman t-shirt, Gary, but I think I left it at my house.
Well, you left everything at your house.
Is a far
Shampoo,
better
conditioner.
superhero than...
It's a matter of personal opinion, Gary. Anyways, it's good seeing you, Purple Belt Mike. Are you going to the game tonight, the Knicks game?
No, I wish I'd already be there if I was going.
Oh, dude. I think we did. Nick tell you we took pictures by Madison Square Garden. We were going to your draft party, Jake. So it looked
I'm happy to hear that.
Charles,
it looked freaking beautiful on the outside.
Charles, you never been to a Knicks game?
I've never been to a professional basketball game. I've been to a couple of basketball games at St. Joseph High School.
To attend live.
I've never been to a boxing game. I've never been to a Met game. I've never been to a Devils game or a Ranger game. There's
a boxing game. Love that, Gary. I know you love a good old boxing game. On that note, thank you, everyone. I am going to the Knicks game, so I got to wrap the show soon and do a raffle here. Let me get the super chat from Nick Shine. Here we go. I'm about to create a fake Instagram account just to catfish Charles so his attention is elsewhere so this conversation ends. Tune in tomorrow at 11. Nick, if we hand the reins of the show to you and you somehow let Gorman on to talk about Batman for a long time, but the last time you ever guest host on this channel, good God. Let's check in real quick with our last remaining callers, and then we will do the raffle. So if you want a chance to win this jersey at the end of the show, which will be in 5 minutes or less, right here for you. Signed CJ Mosley jersey. Giving it away at the end of this show. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline.
Hey, let's get Charles some side dishes. I'm willing to pitch in and get some side dishes from like some cheddar broccoli, some macaroni and cheese, some creamy garlic shells. Now, Charles, if you want some of these things, you gotta let me know, and I'll pick them out for you, and I'll send them right to you, guy. If you need anything, you let me know up front ASAP. And Jake, you get your butt down to Madison Square Garden, and tonight, let's go Knicks. All right, let's close this show. Go Knicks, baby. Go New York. Go New York. Go. Close it out. Bye-bye, everybody.
Was that the fastest Beast call ever? Well done, Beast. Excellent job. JT's up next. What's up, JT?
Yo, I'll keep it short and sweet as well. I just want to show off my first ever Knicks merch I have ever bought in my life. I never followed basketball. You and Richie sucked me in. Let's go Knicks.
I'm in. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, a now Knicks fan, JT.
Go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Our last caller before the raffle is none other than the great David T.
I got my eye on you. Check, make me full screen. It's fireball, whiskey time. David motherfucking T.
Hi, Jake.
Hello, David.
Admiration of Charles, and can we work on getting him down to the Tampa game? I initially would come up with definitely a 50 spot and work on more, and I would love to meet him.
I would love for Charles to be there. That would be incredible. Maybe we can look into that somehow. I don't know. I mean, this is a guy that has a toaster in his closet, so we got a lot of things I'm sure he's focused on before we get to that.
Yeah, I'm proud of him. He seems to really want to make a life for himself, and I think he will. And he has great parents, and maybe his parents would have to give him approval to come down, but that would be cool.
I love it. I'm with you. Charles is the man. In fact, it's basically like watching the ultimate reality show when he calls in, especially now that he has his own place. So I think Charles's calls are about to get even crazier if that's possible.
Yeah, you know what, Jake? It made me laugh today, and I wasn't, thinking of your show. I shaved, and I used a razor, and I always nick myself, and I thought I thought of Charles. I'm like, how in the hell did he put that big gash in his neck?
It is hard to believe, David. I'm blown away every time I watch the clip back.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm promoting Florida. I'm promoting all the Asmaniacs coming down for the game as much as I can. I'd love to meet them all.
Well, I'll tell you what. People are going to be excited to meet you, David. So I look forward to meeting you in person for the first time as well.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, David T.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
David T. One of the greats. One of the greats. Black Gypsy's coming to Tampa. Hell yeah. If you want to buy group tickets for Tampa, I don't know how many are left. I only found out about it today. I know spots are limited, but I did come up with a group buy through the Jets Tampa Club. Cheapest seats you're going to find. It's the Bucks home opener, so I doubt the prices go any lower than what I was able to offer to Patreon people first. It's patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Sign up there. You'll see the info about the Saturday party. You'll see the info about the tailgate once it's officially announced for Sunday morning. And hopefully by tomorrow, the hotel that I'm working with, I can announce and share a link for people to get rooms at a discounted rate at a prime hotel in downtown Tampa, located 8 minutes from the stadium, 10 minutes from the airport. And they offer a driving service if you're staying at the hotel where they could give you pickup for just $20 as opposed to a cab, which is $35. So you'll save a discount from the airport on that as well. All right. Thank you all. What a show. But we're not done just yet, because right now it is time for an Asmaniac Daily Raffle winner.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac Raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
That is right. I have all the names in front of me. The wheel is all ready to be spun. All we need to do now is pull it up so you all could see who's walking away with a signed and authenticated CJ Mosley Jets jersey. And for those of you who tuned in late who want actual takeaways from today's OTAs, Nick Faria with us for 45 minutes gave us his perspective from what he saw at practice today. So definitely check that out. With that said, music, please. All the names are here. You guys will see it on the screen right now. I'm going to hit the shuffle button. 88 entries in total. Names have been mixed. Only one can win. And the winner of the CJ Mosley jersey is listener No! We can't even win our own raffles on this show. Ah! No! No! Not him! No! No way! No way! You gotta be kidding me. We can't. We can't allow this to happen. No way. Oh my God. There's no way. I mean, he won. What am I supposed to do? I'm a man of integrity. Ah, this sucks. Well, Patriots 12, if you're out there, message me your info. And I mean, shit. I mean, if you take a refund on your money, I'll do that and then pick a different winner on the next show I do. I mean, ugh. This is not great. I mean, maybe we will let Beast wipe his derriere with this first. Ugh. Man, to be continued what we do here. This is sad. Oh, he's in the chat. Good Lord. No way that's awesome. Damn it. The vibes were high. Now I'm nervous about the Knicks now. Ugh. I mean, he was the first person to enter the raffle today, too. Just brutal. This is sad. This is very sad. Well, Patriots 12 will reach out and I guess we'll arrange something. Shoot me an email. Ugh, gross. Disgusting. Horrible. No good. Terrible. Ugh. I'm sad. Nick Shine is on the line. Hello, Nick.
How you doing, buddy? I'm sorry to hear
Are
that,
you ready
man.
to host
That
the show tomorrow?
I'm excited. I'm excited, man. I think it's going to be a good time. You know, you got a great group of listeners, and you know, we'll open it up to them. Obviously, let them call in and do what they do best, and we'll play along with it and have some fun tomorrow.
All right.
Are you all right with the message I sent you?
Hold off on that. Hold off on that.
Okay. All right.
Normal show. I have my reasons. I'll explain off air.
You got it. No worries. I like it. Yeah, but we'll have fun. We'll start at 11 o'clock tomorrow. And as always, the chat will drive the show. We'll go as long as the chat wants.
We lost Nick. Nick is filling in for me tomorrow, 11 a.m. on this channel. Patriots 12 says, awesome. I'll treasure it. Ugh. You know what? Great idea. Jersey Jet with, I think, the best possible solution. Make him wear it every time he calls in. That's a fair solution, right? If this guy's going to win a Jets prize, then you know what? He's got to wear it when he calls in. And if he's a real Patriot fan, that should hurt him if he has to wear a C.J. Mosley jersey every time he calls into a Jets show. That might be the only solution here. All right? And we all win. God. Kyle Clifton nails it. That was my first reaction, too. There was no way he wasn't winning. We're Jet fans. That's what I mean. We can't even win our own raffle on a Jet YouTube show. We can't even win that anymore. And some of you think Aaron Rodgers is not coming back week 1 and throwing 5 touchdowns and 700 yards. Please. We can't even win our own raffles anymore. God, I hate this franchise. I'm so sick of it. Anyway, I love you all. Knicks, please win tonight. Otherwise, I'm really going to be depressed. You guys are the best. I'll talk to you soon. JETS, 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 Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Gusbuster hotline is a Patriot fan. 6 Rings has called in. Hello, 6 Rings.
So see the merch I got with all the legends of the Super Bowl teams. I think you guys have to be a bottom 3 team this year.
Thanks for the time, 6 Rings.
You get the fuck out.
You know, I didn't need to hear you on a day I didn't feel well. You call in here and try to trash us, you got a lot of nerve, buddy. You're just a front runner. Now you're losing. You're a big zero calling here like this. You know, we're going to do that number 10 jersey this year. We're going to stuff it up their rear ends.
Small market teams won titles before you guys.
This is the Asmaniac Kingdom. Go back to Patriot land. Long
Should
gone.
I bring up the Colts have had more success than you guys?
Get lost.
What the fuck is this? This guy being on here, bro. We don't need to talk to trash bags from Boston, bro. What is that?
It's our Super Bowls. It's the greatest players. It's the ball I got.
You can throw that in the trash with everything else.
That jersey back there is worth more than your franchise.
I'm finally happy that you clowns are in last place and you're going to stay in last place. You guys can enjoy the basement. We kicked Belichick's ass out of Boston on his final game. There's no need for you to talk on this channel, bro. JETS, 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 motherfuckers. Let's
and
go.
I like the Patriots. I don't care about the Celtics. I don't care about the Red Sox, the Yankees. I'm just a Patriots fan.
You know what that sound means? It means peace out, bro.
That is the ultimate whole send-off we've had. Beast sent 6 Rings to the hall. Beast Breaker just spent $50 and sent him to the hall. You talk about earning your stripes as an Asmaniac. Even if you're the biggest beast hater out there, you got to respect the hell out of that move. Wow. What a move that was by Beast. Unbelievable turn of events. Daybringer, Beast, nice job. Rich, who despises Beast. Smooth move, Beast. Reese, all love. I can't believe this. Dixon, damn Beast, respect. Purple Belt Mike. Beast killed it. Smoke Chat. Beast is getting my vote. Boomtown, what a day. Bobbledick, never thought I'd say this. Great job, Beast.
Beast deserves just a free jersey. No raffle. Like, that was perfect.
$50. I have to match Beast in support of him. Nice job, Beast. Boom. Gator writes, and I hope the chat understands what $50 is to Beast. He doesn't have a lot. Good job, Beast. F that guy. J-Boy, that was perfect. Big fella says, so funny. Beast came to help his therapist.
Yeah, man. He did a hell of a job, bro. Good job, Beast. You stood up, man.
But I got to say, Beast, in my short-lived history watching this show, you could not have done a better job. If I heard another word from that guy, my phone would have been out the window. I can't believe that. Beast, I got to say, you're the man today, all right?
Beast Breaker, I don't give you props all the time. Good job. Hey, thanks, Beast, for foregoing the 10 pounds of gabagoo to get rid of that gabagoo. So I appreciate that.
Beast, bro, he's inspired me to watch WWE highlights. He doesn't understand. It's at an all-time high right now. He cannot mess this up.
Beast, well done. That is as good of a face turn as Daniel Bryan against Bray Wyatt in the steel cage. If you remember the yes movement.
Hell yeah.